Let's tidy up this tangle of film by putting it on a reel. Here is a motion picture film, 1,000 feet, 16,000 separate photographs.
Welcome, everyone, to the official space section of the chart.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
Sir, you're out of order.
Out of order. I show you out of order.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Reel Debaters podcast. I am Michael Petro.
I am Charles Fernandez.
Out in Vancouver.
Boring old Martin Navarro.
I don't think this is the first time we've seen you since you took off, right? This is the
I
first
was in
episode back?
Asia,
Yeah.
Philippines, and Japan.
No shit. How was that?
Yeah. Philippines, fun seeing relatives. The smaller islands are great, but it's just Manila is so congested and crowded. If you had to go somewhere, you basically add 45 minutes to your travel time if it's during the hours of 7 and 9 p.m. 7 a.m., 9 p.m.
Oh, my God.
So all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty much traveling so much. But Japan's awesome. If you haven't been to Tokyo, I think it's my favorite city in the world. I would move there in a heartbeat if they had an English-speaking comedy scene.
Oh, for sure.
I've
Great
always
country.
wanted to go.
You know what? They do everything so well, like food, like entertainment, so well that I'm willing to overlook their slight racism. Because there are some bars and restaurants that don't cater to foreigners, only
Wow.
Japanese people.
Wow.
Yeah, and you go in, you're like,
It's like
and you're just
Quebec.
like, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, closed. And I was like, but there are people here. And
Yeah.
closed. And I'm like, oh, there's
Yeah.
only Japanese people here.
Yeah.
That's why.
I'm
You're
a
like,
foreigner
this
in my
is
own country.
racism. Oh, I don't like
But
this.
I mean, they make some good fucking spaghetti. If you go to Japan, go to an Italian
Really,
restaurant
eh?
and order meat sauce spaghetti
Wow.
in Japan. It's
That's
so
insane.
fucking good. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted.
Can you tell me, like,
Cool.
now that Jollibee came here to Winnipeg, how many Jollibees are everywhere out in the Philippines? Because that's where it came from, right?
Well, that's like their McDonald's.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Right?
they're everywhere.
It's their fast food place that's been around. I don't know how long. It's been around for a long time, but that's
Yeah.
McDonald's for them, right? So
I love it. You were quiet.
it's different. It tastes different than in North America. The sweet spaghetti is not as sweet in the Philippines. They overdo it in North America just to kind of sell it. Be like, oh, here's some sweet spaghetti,
Right,
with
right.
extra sugar.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
They know their market.
Yeah, exactly.
You were quiet in the chat group, and then you just did your standard, like, whenever you go east, you're like, the toilets out here are amazing post.
I got
That
a
was
funny
great.
story about Jollibee really quickly.
Yeah, do it.
So it was my grandma's birthday. Here's the thing in the Philippines. Liquor is so cheap that I was polishing off a bottle of scotch like pretty much every 2 to 3 nights. Like a 2-6. A really good scotch, like expensive scotch. So it was my grandma's birthday. I had like a quarter of a bottle of Bruichladdich left. Polished that, and then my auntie brought, like, she got a gift, like a 12-year-old Tomatin, and I polished that night, and the next day I was so fucking hungover. We had to do like a 4-hour drive to this like little resort town in the Philippines, and we were all like, there was like maybe 12 of us in the back of this kind of like, not a van, but it was like a Jeep, but it was covered, it was air conditioned. We stop at Jollibee, everyone orders food. I'm still too hungover to eat anything. Like, I'm about
I
to
know
throw
this,
up.
Martin. I know this,
They're
Martin.
all eating it in the car.
Oh, my God.
Smells. We're just like, the whole time I was like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up. Just hold it. Don't throw up. I like
Stay
threw
on
it up a
target.
few times to the smell of like Jollibee when you're hungover. It's not good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sometimes those mornings after where you're like, all I need is some grease. As soon as you smell food, you're just
Yeah.
totally fucked.
But there's
That was
nothing.
the only time I was hungover. Like every other time where I polished off a bottle of scotch, I was drinking the right amount of water, so I was fine the next day. But this
Yeah,
one, I was
yeah,
like, you know
balance,
what?
yeah.
I just drank way too much scotch.
That's so
No
brutal.
water.
Said by Martin Navarro. Well, welcome back, dude. I'm glad you had a blast. You did comedy out there too, right? How was that?
Did we went to Tokyo Comedy Bars? Fun time. Very
Cool.
like it's weird. It's Tokyo. You wouldn't expect like an English speaking comedy scene, but there's one bar that does it in like Shibuya district, which is like Shibuya district. You know that when you see the thing in Tokyo where all the people are crossing, that crossing.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
That's where it was near there. So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, English speaking comedy scene. They have a lot of expats that come to watch the show, and also like people who work in Japan who aren't citizens, but they, they're English speaking, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they get
yeah.
a lot of tourists, which was fun. So yeah,
Cool.
interesting to see a little comedy show out there. So yeah,
Fucking awesome.
fun times.
So cool.
Well, now that he's back in action, welcome back to the show, listener. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. This week on the show, we have accidentally timed this episode to Drop with Barbie. Is it Barbenheimer to everybody here, or is it Oppenarby? Like, what do we?
I think I've been saying Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer, I think,
Yeah,
is
Barbenheimer.
the proper terminology. So it's Barbenheimer weekend, and it's the release of the Barbie movie and Oppenheimer at the same time, which I can't remember the last time two huge, like, they avoid this at all costs.
Funny enough, you guys are going to laugh. The last one I really remember, Nolan was involved as well. It was The Dark Knight and Step Brothers.
That was the
Wow.
same weekend.
Yeah, and I went and saw them on a double whammy. Went and
Yeah,
saw,
you got to go back to back on that one, right?
Yeah,
No kidding.
Yeah, that was a great one.
And that's a good time, right? Because you're like, I
Yeah.
love superheroes, so I'll get into this dark world,
Yeah.
and then I'll go laugh a
And
bit.
I don't think we all were so excited for The Dark Knight, but I don't think anybody expected it to be so good.
No,
So
no,
it was
Yeah, no, I didn't
insane
expect that.
watching it, and then seeing Step Brothers and the same thing kind of happen. I'm like, this will be funny. Will Ferrell's funny, and that was so funny that, like,
Yeah.
you come out and you're like, movies are great.
Yes.
This was great.
All the
Dopamine.
spectrum of emotions on those two movies.
Literally.
Batarangs and so much room for activities.
Yeah, literally.
I wish they did the Batusi, though. You know, the thrones in the Dark Knight. That's the one thing that's missing in my review.
No bat dance in the Dark Knight. So it's that weekend. It's a drama filled weekend. Two big movies at the same time. Warner Brothers trying to piss off Nolan. By
Yeah.
releasing at the same time.
I totally forgot about that.
Right, like they're
Yeah.
totally fucking trolling the bastard. And we decided, me and Jimmy were pitching this one back and forth. Jimmy's off camping, enjoying the outside world, while us losers sit in a basement here. It probably smells because Sean's been away for a day so far. So I'm sorry, Charles, how bad it smells.
Smells
in this place.
great.
Smells fine.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, hang around after. I'll show you where it doesn't.
Must.
Me
In
and
his pants.
we thought Ryan Gosling ain't the only motherfucker who can be Ken. Right?
Right.
And if this is a little bit of Ken, like, we know Barbie's story, we don't know Ken's story.
Yeah.
And from the trailers we've seen, we've got every Ken imaginable, which is going to be so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
So me and Jimmy were like, why don't we get some Kenergy? Hashtag Kenergy.
Yeah.
And all try to make ourselves Ken dolls based on who we are as people.
Yeah.
So, like, our eccentricities, our weird habits, our hobbies, our persona. So we're going to accessorize ourselves for you today, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to present the Charles Ken doll, the Martin Ken doll, and the Michael Ken doll for the Barbie universe. And we're going to figure out who came up with the best one. We're also, because it's a double feature weekend, we're going to talk about our favorite Nolan movies, moments, why the guy is the fucking king of... I mean, he's my director. He's my bottom bitch.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere without a Nolan
Nice.
movie, like, somewhere near me that I can get. Like, as long as there's a streaming service that's got a Nolan movie in it, I'm gonna keep paying for that.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched Dunkirk so many times.
Right?
He's definitely one of those filmmakers, like, you don't even need to know what the movie's about.
No.
You're like, oh, it's a new Nolan movie. Yeah, I'm
Sure.
pumped.
Is it
Yeah.
about time? Sign
Yeah.
me the fuck up.
Yeah, I remember seeing the poster. The first way I found out about this movie was a poster, and the first poster was like obnoxious in a way. It was just the close up of an explosion and a silhouette of
Yes,
a man.
yes.
And it just said Oppenheimer, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, but awesome. That's Nolan? Cool.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell does that even mean?
It's
Cool.
gonna be on film. He's
Yeah.
got balls. Let's
Yeah.
fucking do this, right?
Yeah.
So
I like it. It's the shadow that that famous shadow people see when that picture from Hiroshima and Nagasaki of that.
That's right.
like
Oh,
the shadow.
yeah, that's right.
Forever.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
that's super fucking
Yeah.
smart. Good catch, Martin.
Yeah.
Wow. All
This
right.
whole thing.
Well,
like,
I am very intelligent,
And humble too.
very humble about it today.
So that's what's on the show for you, listener. But before we get into it, some of us have shameless side projects that we love to promote here. They're not shameless; they're actually really fun, but we shamelessly promote them. And if you don't want to listen, you're more than welcome to skip ahead. But I suggest you do, because Martin's got a really great comedy show out in Vancouver right now. I'm going to shut up and drink my drink and let Martin tell you all about it.
August 6th, we are back at Clue Club in Gastown, downtown Vancouver. It's a long weekend. We've hit capacity for our last two shows, so you might want to get tickets early.
Nice.
Eventbrite is on the Reel Debaters page. We'll post the Eventbrite for tickets. But we have Alana Brittany headlining. She's very funny.
very
One of
funny.
Vancouver's best comedians. And also we have our hospitality guest, Johnny Latham, who works at Lamplighter, also in Gastown. So come out, support some local comedy.
That's-
I'm also going to be at Yuck Yuck Surrey on the 22nd. My first time performing there, so come out, Surrey, if you're there. And the week after, from the 23rd to the 29th, I will be in Montreal doing some local shows out there. So if you're in Montreal, I'll be posting the shows on my Instagram account. So yeah, just come down, watch me tell some dick jokes.
Please make video of all of your travels so that we can post them and share them, and you can share all your fun moments.
Yeah.
Just doing like a east to west fucking Canadian tour there, except Montreal and Surrey. But I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Cool,
No,
man.
that's
Yeah,
wicked,
no,
man.
And if you,
Surrey is pretty far. To get to Surrey from downtown Vancouver, the transit alone is 2 hours.
yeah,
Shit.
I did that drive when we were in Vancouver.
But hey, man, that's awesome though. Yuck yucks, that's awesome.
That's the shit.
Yeah, first time
that's-
doing it, so I'm
That's
pretty excited.
wicked.
Get in the
That's
yuck yuck scene and then be like, hey, listen, I'm from Winnipeg. You should send me back to the yuck yucks in Winnipeg,
Yeah.
motherfuckers, and pay for it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
totally.
and just if you can follow Martin through the Real Debaters page. If you go to the link in our bio, everybody's side projects there. So if you just want to have him in your life and you don't want to go through the Real Debaters page, it's all there. The Clue Club comedy stuff's there as well too. For Charles, you make stuff. You have a thing.
I do, yeah. So I have a side gig, the Nerdgasm. Basically just reviewing, looking at nerd stuff, me ranting more.
He jizzes all over the screen to nerd
Yeah.
stuff is really what he's trying to get
Basically, yeah. Marvel, DC, all of it, video games, all that shit.
at. Lots of
yeah.
jizz.
Charles, question
Yes.
from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Hi, Martin Navarro. Host here. Question from Vancouver.
Long time listener.
When I listen into the Nerdgasm, should I bring a raincoat?
It wouldn't hurt, my friend. You know?
What's that front row like at the Nerdgasm?
I mean, we deliver every time, so let's just say that.
Sure,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
it's messy, but it's
Pineapple
a good mess.
juice all week long.
It's the right mess. It's the right mess you want. But yeah, head over to youtube.com/cfbomb. All episodes are streaming right now. There is more episodes on the way. It's been a crazy summer, and I'm finding time. But yeah, no, the Nerdies will be coming out.
Sure, yeah, dude. Hey,
Yeah.
man, you're in
Yeah.
school and you're living life, and
Yeah.
it's the summertime, and
Yeah,
It's a sexy summer, boys.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
sexy
right.
summer,
That's
not gonna
right.
lie.
well, look at that
That's
fucking
right.
shirt that he's wearing.
yeah.
Right?
That's
like,
right.
I don't know. Did you see it, Martin? Can you see it? It's
I see it. I can see Ken.
hey, man.
You said Kenergy.
Proud
so
men wear pink. And,
That's right. That's right.
Dig that fucking shirt. I should have worn my pink shirt. I've got a hot pink shirt upstairs. I didn't
love
even
it.
think to fucking choreograph with the episode today. And then us, the listener. Also, Nerdgasm is on the link in the bio on the
Yeah.
Revelators too. So you can add him in a rotation instead of having to just see the odd thing that he does through our page. You can go directly to his and subscribe. And that's on YouTube. That's the link, right?
Yes, yeah. That's so the YouTube has all the full episodes, and then the Instagram page, which is also at the link on the Real Debaters. The Instagram page has stuff that's just like more for Instagram and whatnot. So yeah, reasons to visit both.
Content creation, you got to have like you got to have your Instagram, your Twitter, your
It's
Threads
nuts.
now,
Yeah,
your Facebook, your
yeah.
YouTube. Like they're all. It's
Yeah.
like why can't we just make the same shit and unilaterally just keep it the same?
Yeah. Well, it will. Disney's going to buy everything, and then it'll just be Disney at Disney.
Sure. Charles at Disney.
Yeah,
dot
Charles at
Disney.
Disney. Yeah.
Hashtag Disney
Dot.
stock up on raincoats.
Yeah. Apple ?
Disney After Dark.
Disney After Dark.
Did you ever hear that they were trying to do a thing called Disney After Dark?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the Kingdom Keepers, where like
Yeah.
Disney comes alive.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith was supposed to write that,
Oh, really?
and then it got shit canned.
They did. Well, maybe, I don't know. Goosebumps was popular, and they did the same thing.
They did,
right?
yeah.
That's basically the formula they did. So
I just want to live there.
yeah.
There's beard hair
Yeah.
all over my microphone.
Never
I guess it's-
leave.
Do I ever spit beard hair in your face, Charles, when I'm talking to you? 'Cause
No.
there's beard hair all over my
I
microphone.
think that's just how you know it's your mic.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
You need some alopecia for your face.
Just a beard trim. I gotta. Anyway, so enough about my facial hair. August 11th weekend and September long weekend. The Real Debaters will be at Assiniboine Park for Movies in the Park. We're hosting.
Right. That's right.
They're gonna give us a microphone, Charles.
They're giving us a microphone to actually host it.
Yeah, we're on stage.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I ran into Joy
At the
on-
Lyric? Like
at the Lyric. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
great.
She let us do it. She let us do it last year. Then I said something not like hard, not kid friendly,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know me.
Yeah.
And then after she was like, "Okay, if you continue to do this, you just have to do it this way." And I was like, "I'll take notes. I don't mind you telling
Right.
me what to say." So,
Are you guys ready for fucking ET? Fuck!
Yeah, no, I,
He's gonna phone the fuck home.
yeah. When you're done, kids, fuck on the floor here. Fuck on the grass after the movie. No, that's not. That's not
Mike, that's 5 minutes, 66 seconds. We're going to have to edit that out.
Yeah.
Sure. Copy that.
Mike just always says, I can pay the fines.
Yeah. Yeah. Sole proprietor. It's all on my
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah.
So you guys have nothing to worry about. Say whatever the fuck you want.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But so yeah, we'll be there. We'll be hosting. We're only going to record for one movie. If you listen to our episodes from last year, we did 2. It was a bad fucking idea. Everything's a bad idea when you're learning how to podcast till it isn't. And then we'll record. If you see us recording, come over and talk to us. If you feel like it, we'll be talking about the movie that's playing in the background. So
That's right.
If you see us talking during ET, that means if you have an ET story or an ET moment, or you dressed up as ET like I did when I went to Universal Studios, like come over and share it with us. And
I
then,
can't wait.
And then if you're like, I don't know if I want that out in the world after, we'll cut it. Just be like, come over to us after, or get out. Like I don't want people to feel
All
that
that white power stuff I said, you guys can edit that out, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You got it, Phil.
Refrain from alt-right comment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stay on this side of the comment section,
Yeah.
listener. But yeah, if you don't want it in there,
Tuxedo, refrain.
if you decide after you've said something you don't like, just contact us and we can not put it on. It's not a thing that will live in perpetuity like we are here. So again, August 11th and September long weekend, we will be Friday night movies in the park. The 11th is, I was wrong about this. I've been saying this for like weeks. I'm like, it's Soul and E.T. It's actually Turning Red. And
It's Turning
E.T.
Red and E.T.
And
Yeah,
E.T.
that's right.
And which Turning
That's right.
Red's great. I'm a dude and it has nothing to do with me, but it was great.
No, that was a good one, yeah.
And then the last weekend is Super Mario Brothers, the new one.
Yes.
And
Guardians.
And Guardians, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Guardians 3.
Guardians Volume 3.
Yeah.
So
Which is still a fresh release.
It is.
Both of them pretty much are. I'd say like Super Mario Brothers is kind of too.
Yeah, and I got
Yeah.
a quote from them about movie licensing. It's only like $300 to play Guardians. It's not expensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought Disney would have been like way more of a dick.
No.
I mean, not like 300. Like it's
well,
not like I had
that's what you're
300,
paying
like,
to the licensing company.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know what they're paying to Disney, but
Yeah.
you can do it for pretty cheap. Anyways,
Souls.
that's that shameless promotion. End it. Cut it right there.
Boom.
All right, so let's step off this mortal coil, ladies and gentlemen, and get into it. Now, normally we do What Did You Watch this week, as you've learned from the show. But today we're going to do our favorite Nolan moments, movies, scenes, characters, whatnot. We're going to chew through that because we were trying to do a Barbie and Oppenheimer debate in the same episode. That's too much fucking work.
Yeah.
So we're just going to enjoy
chaos.
the man for a minute.
We were talking earlier, like
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
basically saying Nolan is one of those directors in our lifetime, at least, that like we don't even need to know what the movie's about. We see a Nolan movie and we're like, hey, take our money. So I mean, this guy, it was funny looking at IMDb. It's just one of those filmmakers too. He's at a point you look at his filmography, and it's unbelievable the movies that this man is a part of.
He's only directed one he didn't write.
Yeah, right, and a great so for me, just thinking Nolan, always Inception is always going to be one of my favorite movies of all time. I think that movie just melted my brain on a level of I just loved it. I loved the way he made it. One of the most iconic things is the whole hallway scene with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and knowing
That's practical
they
effects.
rotated an actual fucking hallway and
That was
had
crazy.
Fucking
right?
Talk about that.
Right? Like that shit was unbelievable. And what was so neat was the whole winter, like the whole third level where they're like basically in the winter level.
In the Inception.
yes,
basically.
Yeah. That was all filmed in Calgary.
It was.
And,
I talked to the prop master who was on that shoot.
Dude, so neat how they did that. It was so neat. They used the old Olympic grounds, the old Olympic,
Shout out
Yeah.
to Dean Goodine, prop master on Inception.
so cool.
I'll tell you a story about Leo after, but go on.
Well, he did a great job because that was fucking so cool what they did. Like, I don't know. The movie was like, what I love about Christopher Nolan is he will always be ambitious. And for him, he only truly really uses CGI when he has to. And he doesn't
Yeah.
let it, you know what I mean? And it's just to kind of finish or just to polish it off always. Like, this man will always do practical when he can, and I just will always love that, And like something like Inception, like knowing that when a building blows up, it's actually like, yeah, they built it and they blew
Dark
it up,
Knight,
right?
Dark Knight Rises.
Totally.
Right? The hospital.
Totally. Yeah.
He's like, we'll demo it. We'll pay
Yeah.
for it just on my schedule.
And again, another incredible scene, and that's also with like Heath Ledger, is when he's banging on the thing because it didn't go off right away, and that was actually,
hilarious.
and that actually fucked up. Like that wasn't part of it. That was the timer wasn't going off properly, staying in character, and then it does, and you see him jump and then go right into the bus. Like, that's unreal, right? Like,
didn't
that's
know
so.
that.
That's
oh
perfect.
yeah,
That's a perfect moment.
Yeah, that's
a
one of
perfect
my
moment caught on camera.
One of my coolest, like, or one of my favorite Nolan like behind the scenes is like that. Yeah, so when he's actually like doing that. It's not. It was supposed to go right away, and he's staying in character, and Nolan's like rolling, and then it actually goes, and you see Heath kind of jump, and then he goes right back in, and it's just like it's a beautiful take. Like, yeah, no,
It is because it shows the close up, like the medium shot of
Yeah.
the explosion, and then the
Totally.
big aerial shot of
Yeah.
the whole building going.
and they the way they explained it too is like they had engineers go in and cut into the building diagonally so that when it blows, it does that nice, beautiful effect of like falling, and you see the
like World Trade Center.
I mean, yeah.
Just kidding.
I love that because that's a cool little moment because that's something that we don't normally see the Joker.
Yeah.
Like Joker is still a regular person, like a
Yeah.
normal human being,
Right.
And
He's
that
just
like that
psychotic.
little shock, like so he is just a regular person. He's like a superhero, he's
Right.
a regular person.
And his whole theme, like Nolan's theme of Joker in his world is chaos. He just really is chaos.
Some
So
men just want to see the world burn, Charles.
right, and that whole thing is also like it's unpredictable. So seeing those moments, and if it's going to happen to anybody, it makes sense for the Joker to be like, "Oh, the button doesn't work right away," or when he even straight up says, "Do I look like a guy with a plan?" Like, right, like, right. It's it's
I'm
so
gonna make this pencil disappear.
it was so good. Like it was. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's like Dark Knight, Inception, and Prestige, Memento. I'm such a
Memento's
Memento
dope.
fan too.
I want to tell you this before it leaves my brain. So DiCaprio had 2 pairs of boots for the ski scene, and one of them was if he was cold, they could double up the socks, and then one was for if it was nice out, then he would just fit into it. So they somehow messed up the bindings for one set of boot with the skis with another. And Dean was there as a prop assistant. He actually wasn't head of prop department. And he was in the trailer when they were doing this. So it was him and the prop master. No one else knew. He's basically just going along, being told what to do. They get to set. The helicopter's there. Everybody's ready. It's like 300 fucking people.
Yeah.
Money going. All of a sudden, Leo goes to click into his boots, and they don't click, right? And there's only one other person who knows why they don't click, which is Dean. And you've never seen a human move that fast in your life. Books it right back to the trailer, grabs everything, comes back, slides back down on the ground. They click it into place. The camera's already rolling.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, right?
Yeah.
And he was supposed to do a day. As soon as that scene was done, Nolan goes over to the prop master, talks to him about it. He says he stays on for the rest of the shoot.
Love it.
Like,
Oh, and that's right from Nolan too.
that's
hey?
right from
great.
Nolan. Like, that's
great.
that guy saved the fucking
Yeah,
shot.
keep him.
So you keep him.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's
Yeah.
the only one who was like, he was
Yeah.
paying attention.
Totally.
Anyways, sorry
Yeah.
to cut you off, but
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
and it's when you do those big attempts, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You don't lose in CGI like that. You don't
Yeah.
almost fuck up when you've got computer graphics
One
at your disposal.
One thing I will say too about Nolan, and I miss about buying physical movies, Blu-rays or whatnot. I bought a special edition Memento, and it comes in as the case folder on.
Shut up.
I can't remember his name, but Guy Pearce's character.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the case. And when you take out, it's 2 discs. There's one is special features.
Freddie
one is the
something
movie.
was the character that he
Yeah.
referred to himself as.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched it in its full order?
Yeah, so that's one of the things
The
too.
special
is when
feature
you
is the
take it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It has the case that actually has the discs is the blue diaries that he was writing
Leonard
everything
Shelby.
in.
Leonard's thank
yeah,
you.
Leonard Shelby. Yeah,
Thank you. Not
so it's
Freddie.
his case folder. You take it out, and then it's a diaries he wrote in, and it actually comes with like what looks like a notepad, and it's actually like behind the scenes like photos and
Fuck
stuff.
off.
Yeah, and then one of the like it has also like a like it has a note of like all the tattoos he has, like a record of all the tats that say like don't trust anyone, blah blah blah. It's so neat, and like one of the special features, and it has it written like a sticky note, but it's like part of the case is it's hey click. It's like bonus feature 224 or something like that. And when you put in that disc, if you just go to what says 24, it plays it in the right order. Yeah, and the way that it's edited is it's like it rolls like film. Like you hear the projector going, so it's supposed to be like behind the like hidden. This was hidden from like the public, blah blah blah, and you figured it out. So it has like the rolling film thing, and then it shows the movie, and it's like in the right order, kind of thing like that.
That's fucking stellar.
It's so neat. Like it's so neat, and it was one of those things.
It's almost interstellar.
Oh,
well done, sir.
he knew. He knew.
He's paying attention.
But yeah, no, I think Nolan is just. I think we all agree he's a genius, and like I'd have to say though, if I had to pick one, I always tell people like a movie. I always ask people if they've seen is Inception.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you been
I'd
incepted?
blow Christopher Nolan. I don't know about you guys.
I would eat his ass.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
You can go front. I'll go back, man. We
Stroke
can
that
make that.
shaft, drink that man gravy.
Oh God.
would say.
And juggle it down.
I would bury my face in his man pillows. Martin, what's yours?
So,
This is a hard one.
Inception.
Inception. Okay.
It just came out in theaters. I've never seen it, and my buddy said, "Let's go watch it." So we go, and before we go, like most people do, we watch it. We're watching at Silver City Polo Park, and before we go in the
Nice.
theater, like most people do, we smoke weed.
Yeah.
Oh God.
At the time, I wasn't really smoking. I wasn't really like smoking a lot of weed, so my tolerance was way low.
Someone
Yeah.
went on a trip.
And we smoked a cross joint, basically.
Oh my God.
Yeah, between 3 people. 2 of us went to watch the movie. 1 just left and went home.
Went somewhere else.
So we smoke a cross joint, and we get to the theater. We're buying our snacks. Then we get to the movie. I'm sitting very front row because we're late. So we get there. I'm sitting down. It's at the point where where he's in the first dream, the very first dream, and the people are going nuts.
Oh, it's like the
Wondering what
ride on the
happened.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sit there with my buddy, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go get some napkins outside. Can you just watch my stuff?" So he has his, leaves his snacks there.
Yeah.
His jacket. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, like, I black out, and then credits. That's when I wake up to his credits.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I black out. I wake up to credits.
That's
I look next to
good
me. My
weed.
buddy's stuff is still there.
Oh my
uneaten.
God.
His jacket's still there, and I'm like, oh, maybe he wasn't hungry, or maybe he had to do something. He had to leave for work. So I get his jacket. I get his jacket. I leave his food there, and then I go to the lobby, and I'm like, where is this guy? Maybe he's in the bathroom. So I look in the bathroom. He's not there. I text my buddy who I was with, and I'm like, yo, have you heard from him? Like, he was. He said he was going to go get napkins. I passed out at Inception. Woke up, he wasn't there. Right? So we're like wondering where he is. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go home. And I didn't have a ride, so I had to like take a taxi from Polo because he was my ride.
Oh my God.
So then I go home,
So funny.
and we're like, we're kind of getting worried because no one's heard from him. So like, we're like, should we call the hospitals or should we call the cops? Like, it's weird that he's not responding.
Did he
He's not
get
responding to our
incepted?
text at all.
Yeah. Did we leave him behind?
A few hours later goes by, one of our buddies texts us, and he's like, yo, did you know that your boy's in the hospital?
What?
And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, he's in the hospital. He's at like, what was the one up Portage? Is it Victoria?
Grace.
The one up by Unicity?
Grace.
Oh, Grace
Grace
Hospital.
He's at Grace Hospital. And we're like, oh, shit. So we all, like, my buddy picks me up. We all drive down there and meet him. And we basically like, what the fuck happened to you? And then he's like, last thing I remember is I'm sitting down to Inception. You went to the lobby to get some napkins or some shit like that. And then I passed out, woke up, it was credits, you weren't there. He's like, well, I go to the lobby to get the snacks, or the snacks, the napkins and the straws. And while I'm getting them, it starts to go black all around my eyes, like the peripheral vision. Everything starts to go black, like he's about to faint. And he puts his hand against the railing, and it just basically he faints. So he faints, passes out. He's being revived
Holy
by like
shit.
some off-duty nurse who was in the hospital at that time. They call an ambulance basically to ship him to Grace Hospital.
Jesus fuck.
And I'm just like, why didn't anybody know about this? I asked the staff, like, do you see this, like, a white guy, bald?
Is this Chris?
Yes, it's Chris. So, the shift change happened, so the staff didn't know about it.
Oh my
New
God.
staff came in, so just like, yeah, he basically passed out. He was in a fucking ambulance, and during the ambulance, he comes to, and he's like yelling at the ambulance drivers, "Don't incept me! Don't incept me!"
Oh my
Because
God.
he's seen the movie before, he wanted to see it twice.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
thought I got incepted because he was like, he wasn't there, so I'm
was
like, what the fuck is happening? But
Oh my
we basically had to
God.
revive him, and he was hooked up to like I don't know, all the shit at the hospital. Eventually, he got out. He got released the night of. And we're like, well, I guess let's go drinking. So we went drinking right after he got released from the hospital.
Oh my god.
And I never
That's
saw Inception in
insane.
theaters. I only saw like the first maybe 5 minutes and then the credits. That was it.
That's the best. I've never heard that story, and I've known him for so long.
So funny.
That's fucking amazing.
That's
Well, the
hilarious.
story is best because it's still told in like 3 parts. So
Yeah.
it's told in my version, Chris's version, and then our other buddy who was smoking with us there. And we're all just kind of piecing everything together. And then our buddy who sees him at the hospital also tells a part. So
Oh my
we always
God.
tell it in like 3 parts, which is hilarious. Or 3 perspectives, not parts.
When you watched it the second time, did you have like the biggest cup of coffee so you didn't fall asleep?
Well, I
'Cause
watched
you were
the
worried.
DVD at home, so you know what I mean? Like, I had the DVD. I was like, I'm going to watch this. Finally. Or Blu-ray. I got the Blu-ray for
Yeah.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm finally going to watch this movie. And I'm like, yeah, I finally stayed awake. It was awesome. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's too funny. I've seen Chris faint before too. Like me and Martin have gone out hard, and
He's a fainter. What are you going to
he
do
is a
if you
fainter.
can't handle
he
his
fainted
toxins?
in the middle of his wedding,
Oh my god.
and like I
shit.
caught him, and like he loves telling the story of like as soon as he went down, I was like, "Talk to me, Goose. Come on, wake up, buddy.
Oh my god.
Come back."
That's so funny.
Um,
That also sounds just like the greatest viral marketing ever for Inception.
honestly,
Yeah.
what was that movie where the Smile, where they did the
Yeah.
viral marketing?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
like
yeah.
you tell this story,
Yeah.
and everybody's like, "Is Inception real?"
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
can this really? Because like, yeah, when they wake up and they don't know where they are, you
Yeah.
don't know if you're out of the dream or not yet.
Yeah.
So Martin's like, "Am I in the dream
Yeah.
from this movie?"
I had no idea, man. I smoked that cross joint. I was fucked. I was
Oh
like, yo,
yeah,
this is
that's
way too
so
much.
fucked.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
So
right?
fucked. What a movie too for it.
It is. I Inception. All right, I'll continue the trend here. Like Inception was my first Nolan movie.
Whoa.
I didn't have Prestige. I didn't have Insomnia. I didn't have Memento. Like, again, guys, like I've always loved movies, but not for the way I looked at them. I didn't look at them the same way my entire life. I looked at movies as like a dumb puppy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I never looked at them critically. I never
No,
looked
yeah,
at them
for
with
sure.
like with a watchful eye. So
Yeah.
finding out about all this stuff came way later, and going to Inception, and that was the first movie I ever saw where I didn't see a trailer and knew nothing.
Right.
Nothing,
Yeah.
right? And then I was like, "Is this a book? Is
Yeah,
this
yeah,
an
yeah.
And I believe it's an original idea, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a guy who's like, "What if we could travel through our dreams?" Now,
Nolan basically like he just studied like he got obsessed with the idea of lucid dreaming and like the idea, and it is still fascinating. Dreaming is the one thing that it's studied a lot, and there's still no real explanation
my
for it.
dudes, let me tell you. So, my panda Shauna can amazingly lucid dream.
I'm so jealous.
Wow.
I've been with her for 8
I'm
years.
so jealous of that.
And she can wake up, go back,
Yeah.
continue,
Oh man.
become self-aware. So other night she's having a dream where one of her biggest fears is when her nails are cracked and whatever, right? Like breaking a nail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in her dream, all her nails are broken. And she realizes what's going on. She's like, "This can't be real. I never let my nails get this bad." So in her dream, in her dream
she's
state,
realizing that.
she's realizing that.
Yeah.
So she, aware in the dream, goes to touch all of her fingernails and wakes up and goes, "No, they're all there." And immediately goes right back to the dream going, "Now I know I'm in my dream.
Yeah.
Let's fucking play."
Yeah, let me be architect.
She can. And I'm telling
That's
you guys,
so wild.
she'll wake up and she'll tell me stories. And I'm like,
That's
why
wild.
would you, like, this is the whole problem with the totem.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
This is
yeah, yeah.
coming out of a world that you're
Yeah.
in complete control of.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why would you want to come back to me when you can do what you can do in your fucking dreams, right?
Totally.
Like,
Totally.
that's insane. So Inception has a lot of like, it always charts to the top.
Yeah.
Excuse me. No matter like.
Can I ask you
what
guys a
I'm doing.
question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before I forget, if since we're on the kick of Inception and Nolan, what would your totem be?
That's a great one.
That is a good one.
You know what I
go
think?
first.
Just because it's so 90s too. I don't know if it would work the same way, but you know, like a Pong?
Oh yeah.
Like
I
the
get
video
like
game?
like a slammer.
Oh,
Do you
a
remember?
Pog Slammer.
A
Yeah,
Pog.
Pog Slammer, yeah.
I get like a
Okay.
Pog Slammer.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would work the same. Like I don't know if I can use that, but
Something unique to me. I'll go with like my carabiner and my keys because I know how many keys. I know what keys right,
oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
know the weight of those keys.
That's cool.
yeah. like my janitor keys, essentially.
Yeah.
Martin, what about you?
Mine would be my dick.
Hang on.
Because in my dream, it's always just a little bigger.
You would know right away.
Set up my own joke.
Just gonna measure his dick and be like, "Fucking dreaming."
Yeah.
God damn it, it's not real.
Yeah.
I know how big
Son
it
of
is
a
in my hand.
bitch. You're always mad in your dream because you know.
Foiled
Son
again.
of a bitch.
It fits like a glove.
And you know what it is? It's like I saw a documentary on the Sound City, one of the last like tape recording studios in LA.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl produced it. Pretty much is like the guy directing it, and it's the story of this insane mixing board and how the sound out of that will never be replicated. The story of digital, all these things.
Yeah.
But like all those dudes, like you could record on tape or you could record digital, and still going in to do tape, even when digital was a thing, was like this, like you had this like zhuzh about you, right? Like you were better then because you could do tape, and because he does film still in an old fucking 70 millimeter and 35 millimeter format.
Yeah.
You have no room for mistakes.
Yeah.
So like when he plays with $200 million, that's a bigger gamble for him than I think he chooses to do that instead of making it easier by going digital.
Well, I think if I read it correctly too, like he actually went to what like roughly the area of where the actual Manhattan Project village was, and they actually
Los Alamos.
Yeah, and they like replicate, like they basically built it to like almost how it was.
They made
To
Los
scale?
Alamos to scale.
Yeah, like essentially to scale. Yeah, like they basically made it to scale, and he like went for it in almost every way, and like it's nuts. Like, and he like I guess some of the actors like they didn't live there, but you know what I mean. Like the way that they were like rehearsing and stuff, it was like getting the idea of like this is your life, this is where you are. Like it's wild.
Yeah, he takes like
And he says no CGI. He says there's no CGI used in the movie at all.
Tenant.
Wow.
Tenant is the plane that he bought and blew up.
Yeah.
So the plane in Tenant's real. The cornfield in Interstellar.
And he did the choreography backwards in Tenet. He didn't even rewind it. He did the choreo. He got them to learn the choreography backwards.
That's insane.
It's fucking nuts. To me, again, Tenet, I was more interested in the making of than the actual like movie.
Do you like Tenant?
It was okay. You know why? It was somebody told me
Tenet.
the way it was built to me was like
Charles, put your hands together. Thank you.
it was like a spiritual sequel to Inception, and I think that was too much pressure. It built it up too much like that, and
Inception?
Like to me, it was like they positioned it as like a spiritual sequel to Inception, and I
It was
didn't
too
feel
close
that.
to Inception is what he's saying.
I didn't feel that way until like maybe the last.
I think more Interstellar. Like Interstellar plays with forward-moving time and time travel.
Yeah.
Where Tenant plays with reverse. What is it?
Time going backwards.
Time going backwards in entropy. Right?
And like just entering it into that.
Well,
point.
are you going through time, or is time going through
through
you?
you,
And
right.
can you go
Right.
backwards through time while you're going forward? Like
Right.
that to me was because when ends up like at the end. That's my Matthew McConaughey, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of Interstellar, when he's in the bookshelf,
Yeah.
he's come back full circle. So
Yeah.
that's the thing about like when does Tenet come
Time is
full
cyclical?
circle? Yeah, exactly.
In Interstellar?
And time is
Yeah.
linear,
Yeah.
but you can go both ways, which
Yeah.
is fucking like I had to watch that explanation scene when he's doing the bullet catch. I had to watch that like 12 times.
Yeah.
I think I watched that movie close to 30 times, just like in chunks to realize what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Dunkirk, Martin. You say you
Dunkirk's
watched that?
dope. I love Dunkirk. That's one of my favorites.
Dunkirk was so good, man. And what was cool about it is it's not like it's
It's a true story. Basically.
He's got a point.
And he films it really like it's also not really like a movie. It's more like a day in the war.
Yeah.
Based on
like-
everybody's perception.
Like exactly,
How
like
long a
everyone in that
plane,
day.
a boat,
Yeah,
the island.
Like he's not. There's no main character. It's like
it's a shared
all
experience.
these. Yeah, it's like and in that 24-hour span. Like I went with my dad, and my dad loves history stuff and whatnot. And my dad was just like he literally was like that was one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. It was like it's not even really a movie. Like there's so many parts of it where there's no dialogue. You're just watching war.
Shit go down.
Yeah.
But you're
Right?
and like the again the time manipulation is everybody coming to a point
Everyone's
together,
perspective,
Yeah.
coming
but
into
from
it at the
different
end.
timelines.
Totally.
So,
And it's all in a revolving around Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Like, Dunkirk is the main character, I guess, really.
Dunkirk
Like,
is the-
oddly
yeah.
enough,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's the location. And, like, even the Tom Hardy thing, like, what? Tom Hardy doesn't even talk, I don't think.
he mumbles.
He grunts and
He
shit,
says
right?
stuff. He says some stuff. He
but
does.
that whole
He's fighting.
dogfight that he does, like, that whole sequence is incredible.
It is
Like,
and the only critique, and we're bringing it up because it's Tom Hardy, so I go Bane and I go Dunkirk. But like, why does I don't know why Nolan's guy wins awards for sound. I really I question
because I think it's real.
okay, sure.
A
it's
guy with
real.
a mask, you wouldn't really be able to hear him. So the fact that you can't really hear him,
You can stop.
I don't
that.
know.
Sounds like
Fuck,
when
I
you
don't
talk about
know.
a mask.
I think that's
what it sounds like.
bullshit.
No, you wouldn't hear.
I
a
think
guy
that's
with a-
bullshit. But that's warm. Yeah.
Come on, now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
No,
now, but maybe back in the day, that old school technology wasn't as great, and the sound wasn't as crisp or clear as we get it today.
But I think even Nolan admitted
True
with
that.
Bane, the first
But Bane was a
viewings with
different thing.
audiences with Bane, that was a huge feedback, and Nolan even admitted. Like,
broken.
yeah, like at the end of the day, I get it. The guy's wearing a mask on his face, but if you can't even understand him, like, isn't that kind of comical?
Yeah.
And I think that's when it made him be like, oh, so then they had Tom Hardy actually do like,
Well, it's comical when Batman's like, "Huh?
yeah,
Pardon."
yeah, and he's
Bane,
dressed
I
as a
can't hear you.
fucking bat.
Like someone
Yeah.
should do a sketch where like it's Batman being like, "I can't understand Bane," and
Yeah.
it cuts to all of Bane's scenes talking, and then Batman's like, "Dude, you need to
Well,
enunciate."
I don't know if you guys have watched, but it's on Netflix. Harley Quinn has a show.
I've seen that with Katie Kakuo as Harley
yeah,
Quinn.
man, it is great. It's an animated show, and the
Yeah.
whole concept of it is like she's leaving Joker, and she wants to be her own supervillain. And it's like not like it's 18 plus, like it's so violent and whatever. But Bane's in it, and it's Tom Hardy's Bane. So he's really over the top, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know," and he's always doing that, and they're always like, "Dude, why is it this version?" One character said, "He's like, why is it this version of Bane?"
Why are we acknowledging this exists more than one movie?
Because there's like Bane from like even Bane and Batman and Robin, like he just grunts. Yeah. He doesn't like talk or anything.
Poison
he doesn't
Ivy's
really,
bitch.
Yeah, right. Like so, it's so funny. So that's what Harley Quinn was hoping, but it's Bane from Nolan. So she's like, "Oh, why is it this one?"
I want the other one.
And it's great. Yeah, but it's no. I mean, I think Nolan it's such an exciting filmmaker, and it just shows like the guy, whatever he does is.
Well,
you're
he
excited.
does. He reminds me of Orson Welles in a way, where he's like, if I see it, I want to make it.
Yeah.
And I imagine he's probably not an.
But not as good as Paddington 2.
No. No.
He needs to do
Never.
Paddington 3.
How dare I? Sorry, but no. Like there's an interview where they interview Wells, and it's like, you know, and Nolan is a trained filmmaker where Wells wasn't. So
Yeah.
they go, how did you figure out what you could do and what you couldn't do? He's like, ignorance. I
Yeah.
didn't know I couldn't do it until
Yeah.
I did it. So I did everything, and everyone's like, you can't do that. He's like, well, I don't know I can't do that.
But what's funny is like Nolan is a trained filmmaker for the era he was trained in, but he still makes films that way, and that's what makes
Yeah.
his style unique. Is like
It's like watching Ben-Hur, but with a fucking, well, probably the same budget with inflation, but like it's watching a big
totally. It's a
performance.
spectacle. It's a
Yeah.
spectacle. Like the
It's
same
meant
way
for theater.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like not to go too off the rails, but the same way Tom Cruise is like, I make movies for the theater. Nolan really does. Like he makes his movies
Yes.
for the big spectacle because that's what his movies are.
Unless it's for Warner
know.
Brothers, then it's straight to stream.
yeah, yeah. He's gonna go. They're gonna make a deal back. You know they will.
They gave him a 7-figure royalty check for what probably would have been what he would have got paid.
yeah.
In good faith,
Yeah.
because they're like, well, no profit.
Well, I heard they tried to get like Oppenheimer with him, and he was just still like no, because
Get
that's why
fucked.
Universal I think is doing it,
Yeah,
which is wild.
yeah, it is. He just walked across the street.
Yeah. Well, again, and it shows that's Nolan's power. Like he'll go to any studio and they'll be like, yes,
Oh, they'll spread their legs.
because I never would think Universal and Nolan, but yep,
Yeah.
there they are.
Why not?
Yeah,
right.
I
It's
agree.
it's a syncope production. It's a
I
Nolan
agree.
film.
Also, if Warner Brothers is that dumb, then they deserve to have a studio like Universal take it.
Universal just paid for it.
Yeah,
Literally, they
Yeah.
were like, "You do your shtick."
yeah,
Martin,
Here's money.
yeah.
we'll
Here's
start with
money.
you before we close in on this here. If you had to pick a word, not a worst one, but least favorite to most favorite, right? I think Inception has come across, two for you, but Inception was my first. Is it my favorite though? I am more. I'll go. We'll just do it quickly. Interstellar's my absolute favorite.
Whoa.
Insomnia is my least.
Whoa.
That's only because he directed and didn't write.
Yeah.
So he doesn't. You don't have the double feature with it. So yeah, Interstellar and Insomnia. Charles.
So I would say Insomnia is his most underrated.
Really?
I really like Insomnia. I really like it.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just
No,
saying
no. I
It
get
doesn't
it.
get me excited.
But when you look at it, it's such a young in his career. Like he would have only
Sure.
have made that movie at that point in his career.
that's
at that
Memento
time.
and then that.
Yeah, like he wouldn't do Insomnia now. I couldn't see him doing that movie now.
No.
Let's say.
Well, I think that's a paycheck movie.
For sure. And he was working with the studio finally, right?
Yeah.
After, anyways. So I'd say most underrated. For me, I was not a huge fan of Tenet. Like Tenet for me,
Really?
I have to
Okay.
watch it again. I only saw it the one time.
Hey man, it's a rewatch.
But it definitely didn't. I didn't connect with it the same way I did with everything else. But for me, as best, I think Prestige and Inception are tied. I really love Prestige too. R2 agrees too.
R2's just falling the fuck over back here. I love this.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say, man. I mean, yeah, I'd say Inception, Prestige, or like. But if I had to pick one, I'd say Inception.
No, totally. I love the Prestige. It's like
It's
the
so
magic
good.
movie.
It's
Martin,
so good.
Most
I
and
gotta
least.
go with. I gotta go with Inception as my favorite. Least favorite, The Dark Knight Rises.
Really? Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan. I'm like, this is dumb. Like, why are people fist fighting when they have guns? Like, why doesn't someone just take a gun and shoot somebody? Why are we all having a big fucking fist fight?
I can go to my room. I have a gun. I can shoot him dead right now. That's what I always
Well,
think of.
and that like fine, Batman doesn't want to use one, but yeah, if you've got guns everywhere and nobody's
the criminals.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And the cops. I mean, why don't you guys use your guns?
Well, and that's what it is. It's a jailbreak, and the criminals all have guns, but then all of a sudden they have poles and stuff, and then they just start like fighting like gigs in New York.
yeah.
And
I
even
mean,
the cops
that-
have guns.
Well, and like the whole being trapped in
the hole.
being trapped in the hole.
Yeah.
That was a little long, and
Yeah.
like the Ra's al Ghul bring back shit.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, really? Like I know
Yeah.
this is all in the Dark Knight
And
world.
why don't
and
you just name? Couldn't you just name Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character Dick Grayson?
right?
Yeah.
They
That-
teased
when
the
that
fuck
was
out
his
of it.
original name, and he changed
What
his
did-
name
no,
because
what
of
did-
Grayson's
they-
because of the family tragedy. He changed it.
They made
So
his
they're like,
name
oh, your
Robin,
original
right?
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big thing. They're like, "What's your name?" or whatever, because he's picking up the inheritance, and his
Robin.
name's Robin. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, I love the series, but yeah, they're not.
I think you can clearly tell like what the original sequel was going to be was clearly going to involve Joker and Heath Ledger in some way.
Yeah.
And obviously, what happened, Nolan, I think, still made the right decision, which was not to recast. He was just like, well. You know,
Different story.
I can't even use like they acknowledge Joker. I think they make one comment that Joker
Catwoman
is
was a
in
good
Arkham.
call, right?
No,
I liked her.
and
That was my favorite part.
I loved Anne
Catwoman.
Hathaway's
Yeah,
Catwoman.
no,
I
her-
thought
yeah.
she was awesome.
That was
She
where
was great.
Anne Hathaway was like, yeah, everybody has sex appeal, right? Like I always don't get me wrong, I always thought that, but
She
like
also
she had a
kinda-
lot of wholesome roles before
She
being.
did. It was like a take on Michelle Pfeiffer's, but also her own.
Rachel getting married is
like-
one of my favorite movies she's ever
Yeah,
done.
and it's like that. Her doing Catwoman
Yeah.
with that kind of dark.
Well,
like,
and she's like, I can't be Michelle Pfeiffer, but I'll respect what Michelle Pfeiffer
Yeah.
brought to the character.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean there's Nolan's the shit. I mean you've got your Oppenheimer tickets already, right, Charles?
We're all
Yeah.
bringing our raincoats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Got Oppenheimer
Are
for
you-
10 a.m.
Are you? I'm looking today at what I can get in that weekend and stuff like that because
Yeah.
there's a family reunion now happening. And
Oh, nice.
so I was like, that weekend
That's what
was
mine is
wide
tonight.
open.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like people are coming into town, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't know what weekend you're ruining for me.
It's also like it's just one of those things where I'm like, it lucked out the way it did. I don't work that weekend, blah blah blah. But it's like also one of those movies where if you don't get to see it right away, it's not like you can't be spoiled by like he makes the atomic bomb in the end. Yeah, you know, like oh fuck,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
can't believe you ruined. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things where it's like even if you can't see it right away, as long as you get to see it the way you want to, it's going to be worth it.
yeah, opening
Like-
night is not a big deal. 'Cause
Right.
I've seen Fat Man and Little Boy many
Right.
times,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's
yeah.
the story with Paul Newman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
like I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know what we're getting.
Yeah,
but
that's what I mean, right? Like, there's no like, oh, I got to see it so that I don't get spoiled.
so how does it end?
Yeah, right.
Right? Like,
Albert Einstein kills everyone.
I do want to be in a theater where they cheer for Albert, though. Right? Like, I do want
Yeah.
that to be a.
Yeah.
Martin, are you going to do a double feature?
I don't know if I'll do double feature. I'll probably just watch. I don't even know if I'll watch it opening day, but I'll probably watch it. Maybe if I can, a matinee in Montreal.
Nice.
Still have some
Hell
time
yeah.
in the daytime. So
Yeah, do that when it's a quiet theater.
Yeah.
And, like, no one can get
I'll
to
enjoy it.
Yeah, well, and it's like it's in first person narrative too. Hey?
Yeah.
Oppenheimer's talking to you.
Yeah.
He's not. That's first person, right? Is that correct?
Give me my dose of Cillian
First
Murphy.
person would, yeah, it's like from his like complete.
That's
like,
from his
yeah.
complete perspective.
Yeah, only his perspective.
But it's like a one-way conversation to the audience of
Yeah.
like what was done here and what was done there and why this was done and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
a how-to video for
Yeah.
how to make the atomic bomb from his eyes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I really want to see if they focus on who died during the making of it, because there's two very prominent scientists who got
Yes.
exposed to radiation.
Well, one thing they said that apparently people didn't expect that they're covering, and I didn't even know about this, is he had an affair while he
Yes,
was
he did.
doing it.
That's Florence
and they're-
Pugh's character.
Yeah, and they're exploring that whole.
They explore
storyline.
that too in Fat Man and Little Boy. Laura Dern, I believe, is either his wife or the mistress.
Oh wow!
And
yeah, yeah,
they also explore the fact that they thought he was a communist.
yeah. That's right. That's right.
And because he had a previous entanglement with someone who was.
Yeah,
There's a lot of friction between him and Damon's character where like he was like compartmentalism. He invented compartmentalism.
yeah,
All right, because it was like telling people only what you need to know to do what you're doing, and we'll take care of the rest.
Well, and it's ironic you're hiring someone to make a bomb, and then you're like, it's safe, right? And you're like, well, no, because it's a bomb, but that's the point.
The Manhattan name too
Like-
came from, I believe, The Office, where they decided to do this. Is in Manhattan.
Is in Manhattan.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yeah, yeah,
Manhattan
yeah.
Project.
Yeah, and Dr. Manhattan, the birth of Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Ben, exactly. And then there is true fact to that exchange where he's like, so what happens if we push that button? He's like, there's a near zero chance
Yeah,
that we could light the atmosphere on fire.
yeah.
And you're
Destroy
like,
the world.
right?
Yeah.
And also, like, will they show that when atomic weapons were launched, aliens were like, we need to go to that planet?
Yeah, yeah,
Will they have that storyline
They
in
have
there?
that. Oh, they
The
have that.
Vulcans are
Yeah.
coming.
Exactly.
Start
right?
the Mortal Kombat tournament now.
Yeah, exactly. World domination.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's all have one big fuck fest after.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All I know is that first test or whatever, when you actually see
Trinity
it's
one,
going to
yeah.
be, yeah, wow. It's just going to be
It's
like
dynamite.
This is why Nolan did this.
It's dynamite at extreme close up with film.
That's what it is, eh?
So it's real dynamite
Yeah.
blast. Because when you get down to it, an atomic bomb is X amount of TNT.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's just that molecule doing the job of TNT.
Yeah, yeah.
At 1,000,000%. So that's interesting that he was like, well, if they say it's what TNT is, if we
Yeah.
get TNT down to its single stick,
Right, right.
could we make that into
Yeah. And knowing them, they're lowing down, like they're doing the frame
slowing
rate.
it? Yeah. And probably overlapping,
Totally.
right? And adding shit in where it sparks and
Totally.
stuff. Like
Totally.
maybe it's just a lighter. It's a Bic lighter.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
like a
yeah.
Bic lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, well, there you go, listener. There's some Nolan for you. Subscribe and tune in a few weeks. We'll have a full most cast review of this. I'm sure we'll try to go see it together. I'd love to just be in the theater with you, Charles, because then we can text each other while shit's happening.
Totally.
So I'll look at what.
It's
tickets
also,
we got.
I told Claudia, like, I can't wait. Like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, all right, let's get
Is that
fucked
the,
up.
is that the
right
Friday
away.
or Saturday?
It's a Saturday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to get up and get
Yeah.
some breakfast and just be like, I'm in the back, bud.
Please do it.
I'm in the
Yeah,
back.
man. It's IMAX, so we're going for it.
Martin, what time is it?
It is debate time.
My signal. Unleash hell.
Push it. Don't push it. I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Goldstein, give me a fat beat to beat my buddy's ass.
I know what kind of guy you were. I never would have agreed to work for you.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna fight? What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch you. Would you repeat it?
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
So, as mentioned at the top of the show, listener, we have decided to give ourselves some Kenergy today and see if we could be a Ken doll in the Barbie universe and how we may play a part in this movie. Like, why would we be in the movie to begin with is kind of what I thought of. And then I was like, I'll just stem from all of that. So I think we just made it simple. It was like, accessorize yourself.
Yeah.
Pick an outfit, right? Because an outfit comes with the toy, right?
Yeah.
And they're synonymous with their outfits. And then, like, what your Kenergy is, like how you kind of would, revolve in the universe of Barbie.
Yeah.
And best Ken doll wins. Hashtag Kenergy. And Charles, you get to...
Oh, yeah.
Give us...
I get to start this baby off, eh?
Do we need raincoats, Martin? What do you think?
I'm putting mine on. Should I get mine?
Okay.
I'm coming with you.
Let's see what I got here. All right. So my Ken doll is a Charles, and he is a Portuguese Canadian.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
nice.
he's very strong demographic there, especially in the Toronto and Sargent area of Winnipeg.
Sargent, Winnipeg, and Toronto.
And Toronto everywhere.
Okay.
So your classic Canadian story. I was born to immigrant parents in Winnipeg, and just a strong following to pop culture and movies and all that. So
nerdy Portuguese Charles Ken.
That's right. That's right. So my Kenergy is to be the greatest pop culture nerd of all time and be hella cute while doing it. I'm also a stoner in secret, but not really. See? So hella cute. So accessories-wise, it'd be like a nerd or like video game shirt, sneakers, cool jeans. I'd have a knapsack, and in there'd be like some Blu-rays, a controller, some video games, camera, laptop, maybe a notebook and a pen.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
You're ready to produce on the fly?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I feel my Ken would so work with your Ken.
And then just to add to it, just to add for the special edition. So if you get the special edition one, it comes with a bag of Old Dutch ketchup chips.
That's your jam?
There's a joint and a lighter that you can like switch into his hand, and he's doing like how'd that happen? And then for the Portuguese market, they'll understand this. It's a sandwich my mom makes.
What's it called?
It's called a bifana sandwich.
What's in it?
It's like a meat sandwich, basically. It's like pork beef that's soaked in gravy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, with like some onions, and then you can put a little bit of like coleslaw on top. It's amazing.
Can you like...
It's our version of like pulled pork, but it's not pulled pork. Yeah. Yeah.
Not supposed to make lip smacking noises on the podcast, but fuck, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Your Ken doll made me hungry.
That's that's the Ken. That's the Ken is Charles doll.
Cool. Martin, do you wanna chew them apart first, or do you want me to go?
You go ahead.
Okay. I love that the nerd Ken has never been explored before. Right? Because I've heard that Ryan Reynolds is like Ryan Gosling. When he got the part, he walked home, saw his kid's Barbie's or Ken doll face down in the dirt.
Yeah.
He was like, this story must be told.
Yeah.
So I love
like,
that.
Damn it.
Yeah, right? This isn't how Ken should go out.
Yeah.
So I love your we need a new kind of Ken, right? We need the less hunky Ken.
We got Beach Ken.
Yeah. I would have loved
Jim
to have
Ken.
put your favorite movies in the backpack. Like if you threw some of,
Well, those Blu-rays.
Yeah.
I didn't go into too much detail.
Yeah,
but those
like
are some
what
shout-outs.
does what?
I mean, Inception's in there.
Okay, is it just a backpack full of Nolan?
It's an advanced early copy of Oppenheimer.
Are you tying into the fucking first half of the show here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. What else is there? I love a backpack full of shit. I have a backpack as well.
Well,
too.
because I remember there was always those Barbies that would be like, and it comes with their knapsack, and it's full of mini accessories, and I'm like, that's smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like then that's also a reason for them to be like, and that's why it's $40.
And then you can have
know what I mean?
four
Like,
more knapsacks.
there you go.
With different accessories going across the board. I can't. I mean, I like a nerdy Charles. I like a nerdgasm. I feel a little bit wet over here from all of the
raincoat.
The raincoat, yeah, it helped.
Raincoat not provided.
Yeah, Martin, the floor is yours.
I liked it. One thing I'm going to say is I think we all have very similar Ken dolls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhat similar Ken dolls.
We were all in the same meeting.
A couple of things that were missing. I don't know. Maybe it's just my brain that way I wanted to take it with the way the Barbie, like, with the way the Barbie product is set up.
Yeah.
But I'll go over it during mine. This was why I guess I'm glad you didn't do it because I'm going to make mine. I want to make mine a little different than yours, Charles.
No, totally.
We both like the same things, and I like the nerd stuff, and I'm glad that you brought it. And I think we're gonna all have a little bit of nerd splash in ours. Like, where's the asthmatic Ken doll? That's Martin.
Comes with a buffer.
Yeah, I
That's so funny.
I nailed.
That's me. That's my Ken doll.
I kind of did that as well too, but I'll get to it. But Martin, anything else? Floor's yours, man.
No, it's good. It's fun. I'm excited. I like how we're all gonna have basically the same doll, but just slight differences.
We would all get each other's dolls.
We could be interchangeable with our accessories.
Yeah.
We could be a 3-pack.
Yeah,
right.
That's
You've got Portuguese, Ukrainian,
Yeah.
and East Asian. Like you've got everything that you could possibly fucking want.
And all our accessories are different, but similar.
Fuck, too much fun.
That's great.
I don't think they have a Filipino-Japanese Ken doll.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like you could break.
They're about to.
Okay, all right. I'll shut the fuck up.
They're about
to.
Your turn, sir. Go ahead.
I'm coming with you.
So for mine, I was like thinking of like, I was looking at the Barbie product line, and I'm like, well, they have, you know how Barbie has like different types of Barbie?
Yeah.
You know, they have like regular Barbie, they have Malibu Barbie, they got black Barbie, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, how would I incorporate that into the Martin line? So I have 2 lines of Martin dolls, I guess, or Barbie Martin dolls. Winnipeg Martin and Vancouver Martin. Different people.
That's so cool.
Nice.
So here's how I'm going to say it. Winnipeg Martin is the Martin who was the younger Martin, the Martin that Mike Petro grew up with. The Martin that wanted to get laid. So more of an adult Martin. So this guy wore dress shirts, shoes that are not Converse, watches, and cardigans.
Yep. That's great.
One of the things that I liked about that stood out when we were doing our own Ken dolls, I'm like, oh, well, Barbie had her own car. What kind of car would Winnipeg Martin have? It was a 2003 Honda Civic.
It was.
It'll come with an aqua CD with a little bit of white powder smidge on it.
Amazing.
Yes, and it'll have it'll be when you press the button for the music, it'll play Incubus, Oil and Water.
Yes, it shall. Oh my God! Someone is pandering to a specific person in this panel.
And you know how what do you call it? And you know how Barbie has her Barbie dream house?
Yeah.
Well, mine is going to be the Toad, the whiskey bar, right? That'll be where you can put Martin to play, and he's also going to have a friend who's always there as well. It's going to be called White Martin, aka Michael Petro.
I'm
That's awesome.
I'm Asian by proxy.
And he comes with the set.
Yeah, I'm just there.
Your typical Mike Petro, but this is going to be. I'm gonna go back to eyeliner Michael Petro.
Holy
with
shit!
His fedora hat.
Oh man!
Oh my God!
I'm so jealous you got that one.
Yep. Oh. I just got an Apple Watch. But
that's going to be
so
there.
cool.
Oh my God!
That's Winnipeg Martin. Now we have Vancouver Martin, who is basically the main point of his life is no longer to get laid. He's not going to own a car. He doesn't own a car, but there will be a car that you can buy. It's going to be a Tesla, but it's going to have an Uber sticker on it. 'Cause that's the mode of transportation he uses now.
Nice.
In terms of clothing, Converse shoes, always Converse shoes. There's going to be like maybe 12 different types, different colors of the Converse line that you can switch out. Also, the shirts are going to be all shirts with graphic. They're all going to be like shirts of video games, anime, superhero stuff. It's just going to be nerd shirts. That's it. There's going to be different types of outfits you can wear. Like I have, for sure, the one it's going to come with, because you can buy accessories. Like you can buy packs of accessories, but the shirt that it's going to come with is the Dragon Ball Z t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's the shirt it's going to come with. And also,
I'm not even telling you guys mine. Like I can't.
Still loves whiskey, so there's going to be whiskey involved. There's going to be some cigars as the accessories. He's going to have the new PlayStation the 5 portable that you can get. That's going to that's going to be one of the accessories you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also going to still be an aqua CD with white powder on it.
I made it to Vancouver.
But that's the Martin line. I came up with.
So that's great.
Oh my God. I feel that was like right for me. I'm flashbacking right now, and I'm like, yep, No, check that. Yep, that happened. No, definitely. And yep, we both have I'm sure I have an Aqua CD somewhere too with some white powder on it.
That's a deep cut Aqua. For those you don't know, back in like the early 2000s, weren't they?
No, man, that was late 90s, man.
Late 90s?
They spanned a bracket.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah. But that was Barbie Girl.
Holy shit.
Dr. Jones and Barbie Girl, baby.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, those are so perfectly crafted. Like, I would pay somebody to make me those Ken dolls, and I would buy that stuff.
Oh my god!
Like, I'm not joking. Like, I would.
So good.
I think the new thing will be dudes getting Ken dolls.
They should make a Barbie land where.
I forgot to add. I will have an asthma inhaler for both of them.
Okay,
that comes with the accessory. Sorry, I mentioned that at the top of the show, but that was real. The asthma inhaler does come with both versions of Martin because he's still asthmatic. So.
Dude, okay, the only critique I have is you're a fucking greedy asshole and you're like trying to do a 2-for-1 and make parents spend more money on the fucking toys after.
Well, I mean, capitalism, baby.
That's really all I have to it. It's like, you can have this, but if you want the total package, you need this, and this.
That's right.
And I'm like, I love it. But that's my only critique because then, if we did become a Ken doll.
But doesn't, like, Barbie has that though, right? A lot of Barbie toys have, like, the package you can get just for accessories.
They do.
Yeah, like add-ons, just add-ons and stuff.
Yeah, that's what my motivation was for that, was to get like that kind of
add-ons are the original loot boxes, guys.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Your turn. That's all I got.
Martin, my question
is. Sorry, I just want to say, Mike, if you buy the Toad whiskey bar place, it comes with a Michael Petro.
Oh, it does
so
now.
You have to buy that separately.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you buy the Michael Petro doll separately?
What do you want to do to the Michael Petro doll?
It's a limited edition. It comes with a Toad.
Oh, that's fair.
You have to buy that.
That's fair.
Holy shit! Like, I don't have a reason not to vote for him. I'm a limited edition.
Mike's limited edition.
Does Winnipeg Martin and Vancouver Martin? Is there a Winnipeg Barbie and a Vancouver Barbie that pairs with them?
Oh no, there was no specific Vancouver or Winnipeg Barbie.
All right.
No.
So they go with any Barbie and all Barbies.
Any Barbie,
universal.
Winnipeg Martin and Vancouver Martin are acceptable of all Barbies.
They play with all
colors,
Barbies,
all shapes, all sizes, all races. You know what I mean?
Great.
He's acceptable to all. He loves all.
That's
he loves
awesome.
Them all.
Okay.
Martin Ken does not discriminate.
Consensually,
he's got a universal plug.
Yeah.
There's a universal plug on his that just plugs with any of the other ones. Plugs into any outlet, any of those ones.
Plugs into any Barbie. Oh,
it's like a USB, and then if you need it, we also have converters that come with it too.
There's no way we weren't going to talk about having two fucking dolls having sex today, listener. Just so we're clear. Like, that was not in the cards. Oh shit! Anything else before I?
No, it's great. It's a great. I love both lines. They're hilarious.
I do not want to follow this.
And I love that Aqua comes with both.
Right?
Yeah.
And like maybe it'll play one.
It's a big part of my life. It's a big part of my life.
And Aqua's.
I still listen to Aqua.
Oh yeah.
Oil and water is like ingrained in my DNA. Like Incubus, oil and water in that 2000.
Just hearing
Civic.
Incubus is amazing. So
Mike has also driven home a bunch of times.
Yeah. Without a license. Not in Paris.
Right. So that means and that also means the Petro doll has like the eyeliner and the
Yeah. Eyeliner Petro. That's the one I want.
The eyeliner Petro
and Fedora Petro. You missed Fedora Petro.
You missed Fedora Petro.
Oh my god, I missed
like
Fedora
5
Petro.
fedoras.
Wow, you have a great toy line already.
Yeah, I have two Kens today.
Yeah.
Mike, if you vote for me, you technically win.
I do. I totally do. Well, see, there's a thing too where like I found the thing where we can turn ourselves into Ken dolls. Like a Kenerator, I guess.
Yeah. A Kenerator.
I'll send it to everybody after, and we'll all take a picture of our. We'll put our stats,
and it'll do
with the Ken image, right?
Oh, I love it. That's great.
All right, so I'll close this bitch out here. So obviously there is a look to Michael Petro, and for a listener who doesn't see me out in the world that often, I'll explain it. And I did what Martin did, but I did one doll, but I took from like an other era,
old generations,
and then like what I took from that era and brought into this era, and then now I have in this era, right? So there was a all black Johnny Black asshole version of me at one point.
Whoa.
During the eyeliner phase, right?
Wow.
So like I was the man in black emo,
yeah,
so to speak. So that's the ensemble is a black T-shirt that
he wasn't imitating Johnny Cash. It was My Chemical Romance.
Well, actually, yes.
Oh, that's
awesome.
awesome.
I was I was a big Gerard fan. So So I had a few T-shirts that were specific. I had a Green Day T-shirt I rocked until I had holes in the pits.
I remember that.
There it is. I had a "You've Died of Dysentery" shirt, right, from Okanagan Trail.
Oh my god!
And these were the Friday night outfits. I had a black.
How did I not meet this Michael? I'm so jealous.
You probably did.
Yeah.
You saw him at the bar.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I was out and about. I had a black skate hoodie that had thumb holes in it.
Oh my god!
That was ratty in the back. So this is that black Vans, black skinny jeans, and either a black fedora.
Did you have a chain?
Yeah, I had a chain.
Oh my god!
But it was a black fedora. It was from Miami Ink. Right? So
was it Dave? What was his name? The guy who was with Carmen Electra?
Yeah, Dave Navarro. Yeah, that's where. Yeah, all that Miami Ink shit. So there's that. The black square frame glasses. I also had the old 80s daddy rape glasses kind of thing. Oh my god, like the Dahmer glasses. So either or.
Dahmers.
A black bracelets of some kind. Obviously, Martin has already. I'm very limited. This is the limited edition version.
And you had
of Martin's set that I'm describing.
You had the
OC mine's the limited. Mike is like the full release because
the full release.
They have to release a full version of the doll.
Yeah.
Limited
by
release
popular demand.
I'm like Russell Brand from
Get Him to the Greek.
Get Him to the Greek, right?
Yeah.
I'm only there.
Eldest Snow.
Eldest Snow's character.
Oh my
right?
god. So the bracelets you had, let me guess, they were those thick ones,
No, they were black skinny leather bracelets.
Oh my god!
They
you had multiple ones.
I had multiple ones.
Oh my god,
that's
so
much
great.
jewelry.
Nail polish, right?
Yeah, black.
So, black nail polish.
Oh my god!
Remember what's his dick from Lost?
What's his dick? Sawyer.
Charlie.
I
used to put
Hobbitses.
Yeah, Hobbitses. Second breakfasts.
Yeah.
He used to paint his.
Yeah.
So he painted his nails. I used to put tape on my knuckles as well too.
Oh my god!
So this is the look.
That was his muse.
It was my muse. Also, I can't obviously forget my carabiner, my totem, right? My janitor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest here. The bald spot's been there for a while, so there will be a optional hairpiece or bald spot. Either or is fine. I don't care. It's who I am. The accessories.
Optional. I like that's optional.
Now that that's who I was. This is who I am. I'm the podcasting nerd, right? So it's a podcasting Barbie. So the backpack, the laptop, the recording gear, the headphones, the SD cards, multiple cables falling out of the backpack, right? Just ready to go, ready to record at any given time. A pack of smokes with no lighter. Everybody at work will understand that joke because I never have a lighter. And I'm Humphrey fucking Bogart from Casablanca. I steal lighters.
Yeah.
There's like 50 lighters in the bag over there, Charles. It's ridiculous. A pack of stick-on tattoos that you can put on me.
Aww.
And I'll even let you do the bullshit monster tattoo that I have here. This was a line for every year that I was sober. I thought I was doing it, and then accidentally it just looked like the monster claw after 4 lines. I was like, I can't do anything with this tattoo.
Oh yeah.
So you get all my shitty tattoos as well as my favorite ones. And then Martin will love this, a container of Just for Men beard dye, because there was a time when the gray started coming in.
No,
that I would dye it, but I wouldn't dye it.
I love it.
I wouldn't dye it in its entirety. I would just dye the gray, so then I'd have these ultra black patches.
So it was more noticeable because you just have
I drew
really
more
black
attention
patches
to my face than I did before.
That's
and
awesome.
My Kennergy would simply be that I would bring the world of podcasting to Barbie. I would get Barbie out to the masses, right? Barbie's dream house would be converted into like a Paisley Park. Prince's house where like she can record in any room. She can record her thoughts.
Yeah.
We can get Barbie out on the podcast platform and spread Margot Robbie's joy and Greta Gerwig's care of the character and get it out to the
I do want to give a shout out to Michael Keaton's Ken from Toy Story 3 and how
that's right.
Great,
Yes. Yeah.
how great his
the only other Ken on screen, really.
Yeah, I'd say or at least the last one, really, that we
was there a Barbie cartoon? Well, we'll get to that after. That's there. There it is, so cool. Guys. There's your best of. It's like something borrowed, something blue, something old, something new, right? Like I made a Ken doll out of the best parts of 2 eras. Charles, you can go first. I'm not dressing up for you, by the way.
It's great. I mean, I love that. Without you guys, I assume planning, it was amazing how it's like an inception of a product line here.
No shit.
There was so much popularity with the Scene Petro line that we did the full release, and we went for it, and it's been sold out just on pre-order alone already.
It's like a PlayStation 5. It's
literally. No, I love you really knew how to cater to the supply and demand of it. I think it's hilarious.
Well, that was an impromptu piggyback. Like, I had no idea what was coming,
Yeah,
so I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just play into that.
I love how much accessories it comes with. I think that's great, too.
Yeah. Well, it's the good and the bad of me, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not going to be like the perfect Ken doll because I'm certainly not the perfect
I
human.
like that you're teaching kids that, too, how they'll be pieces of shit at some point.
Yeah, you'll make bad decisions about the tattoos you put on your body, and this is what they'll look like. And I want it to be like literally like the thing will be a monster can, and then you just pull the claw off and put that on as the tattoo.
So
right?
funny.
Because it's such a bad fucking tattoo.
And they'll bring that doll to all their first tattoos.
Yes, don't do this. To me.
Yeah, and that'll be their monster claw.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great.
All right.
I don't know. I don't have any. I love everybody's. Honestly, I don't really have any negative. Everybody's was awesome. So
Yours is like,
Yeah.
like it's exactly. I was like, if he doesn't, if you come over here with like Charles Ken doll, a priest, or Charles Ken doll, a fucking astronaut or something.
Yeah,
right? I was
yeah,
like, no,
yeah.
you're coming over here
Yeah.
with, and then like with Martin, I was like, he's gonna play into like two different people, right? Because like he's been here for one version of his life, and now he's there for another
So
version of his
good.
life. Like
it's so good.
Martin. Anything? Floor's yours.
I liked it. I mean, it was really good pivot, Mike. Considering what with my argument, because I wanted to have you, I had to have you in my mind. So, but really good pivot. One thing that I was looking for was I wanted you, like, if you were gonna make a line with your old self, it was pre-beard Petro. There was no beard.
That's right.
That was a huge thing. Mike Petro without
Whoa.
a beard. That's when I first met Mike.
Yeah.
Like no
He never
facial
had a beard
hair.
when I first met him.
No.
Whoa, you were a clean shave.
I had the disgusting, very not attractive to a very attractive to a small amount of people soul patch.
Oh, you had a soul patch.
I had
Nice.
a soul patch. And
I can see you
then-
rocking that.
Yeah, like soul patch. Like me and Martin, we hung out in two different versions of ourselves. We hung out in our blacks at work, and then we hung out in like I hung out in my blacks out of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, for like a super long time, it was like
Eras, man.
Cemetery Drive, My Chemical Romance.
Yep.
Paint my eyes fucking shut.
That's great.
I got magic marker, the nail, whatever.
Oh my God,
But yeah,
that's
there was no
great.
beard at one point. So good call. Yeah, no, I should have had like a
Attachable beard.
well, yeah, but in stages,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Where it's like the
Yeah.
soul patch, and then it goes to the beard.
You have it as one piece, and you can take like the top, the
yeah,
very
yeah,
bottom
yeah,
off,
yeah,
Yeah.
and then that piece,
Like a Mr. Potato Head.
exactly.
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
holes
yeah,
in my
yeah,
head.
yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Anything else, Martin? Before we vote,
No, it's good. I liked everyone's pick, and I think we should all email Mattel and then have them listen to this episode.
Yeah.
yeah,
This is a toy pitch.
Special made. If they can do it special made for us, that would be an awesome thing.
Fuck yeah.
A great toy pitch.
Like, just imagine like a diorama in the Reel Debaters studio of each of our dolls just hanging out.
yeah,
I want the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's 3D print this shit. If
yeah,
we
like
can't.
do a mock-up. We can
Right?
get mock-ups.
My stepdad's got 4 printers. We'll
That's
figure out
great.
how to send in some sort of mock-up, trademark the shit out of it, and be like, here you go, guys. We're
I love it.
the Reel Debaters Mattel Ken dolls.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I
Yeah.
also make a suggestion before we start voting?
yeah.
Of course.
Just to make Jimmy angry and to get us ahead in the points. Everyone's was good. Can we just have like a 3-way tie win? And everyone gets a point?
I think that's totally fair.
I'm very fine.
Is
with
that
Yeah.
fair? Instead
That-
of
you know what?
Can we
I
all
think
vote
so.
if we all vote, can we all vote now?
Yeah.
If that's the thing?
Yeah.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote
I'm in.
yes.
I'm in.
Yeah.
You know why?
All right, then we all won.
Because that's what Barbie and Ken would do.
cool.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly. Everyone wins. There's
Totally.
no losers.
There's no losers on this one.
Totally.
Right? Let's have some happy.
Yeah.
Let's have some like
Yeah.
everybody's lift, all tides
Yeah.
So,
lift,
Mike,
all ships.
we all get a point on the chalkboard for this episode.
We do. I like that because I don't get
great.
many, so I'll take it. Well, there you have it, listener. You have a lovely new 3 Kens to pitch Mattel on. If we don't, you feel free to. We're fine with it. Just give us 10%. That's all
That's
we
right.
ask.
That's right.
My God, yeah, having a Charles and a Martin, whichever version you want, and a Michael in the Toad Whiskey Bar,
Oh my God.
hanging
that's
out
great.
in fucking diorama. Like,
That's
I'm
great.
willing to buy. I'm really willing to buy actual Ken dolls and strip them down and then rebuild them back up with that shit. If we can't get our own, let's just buy 3
And
of them.
remember, all of them are they work with all Barbies.
They do.
That's right.
They're interchangeable.
That's right.
And
All
we have
interchangeable.
converters if we need.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's right.
Right? We
That's
can
right.
just put a wig on it and it's like, fuck it, who cares?
That's right.
It's 2023, it doesn't matter.
That's right. That's right.
Obviously, so you've got your Barbie ticket already because you've done your thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
we're
gonna
excited.
I'm fucking just so behind this movie. I was so like, what the hell is this at first?
Yeah.
But as I started to find out how it was made and who made it and everything like that, and like Margot Robbie gives a big fuck about it.
Yeah, no, and I think the Toy Story angle is fucking
It's
hilarious.
so funny.
Yeah, I think it's really funny.
Well, and to incorporate Barbie's what Mattel's trying to do with Barbie now, where it's bring her into the present and make her more of a 2023 Barbie instead of a 1960s Barbie.
Yeah,
'cause that wasn't a good time for women to be inspired to do a thing.
For sure.
So showing that story through going into a present day world and trying to be Barbie from then to now, that's fucking awesome.
Just gonna take off my pants. It's really hot here.
Do it, dude. Yeah, no.
It's
awesome.
also cool to see Barbie get reinvented for another generation of like kids again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like when we were growing up, I feel like Barbie was a little bit more like I don't really see or hear. Like, when was the last time you heard like Barbie was the craze of the toy market? Right? Like,
you haven't really seen it in the forefront in a while.
But when we were growing up, that seemed like Barbie was still a pretty like all my girl cousins had Barbies. Like,
everyone wanted to buy one for Christmas if you were a girl back in the day, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. So I think this movie's also doing that, and it's smart from Mattel's standpoint. Like, that's obviously why they're happy about it too, is like it gives them a reason.
Known for. If you think Mattel, you think Barbie.
Yeah,
that's the big one.
And have you guys seen like Margot? She's so awesome. She knows what she's doing.
She's worn every outfit from almost
like the first toy line,
multiple different toys from like the first and second era. She's matched her outfit to the red carpet.
Yeah, her hair and her accessories and her dress,
and like
it's so cool.
You know,
it's a great idea.
There's gonna they're gonna poke. You can already see where they're poking fun at stuff.
Yeah.
And it's poking fun at the fact that they're innocent and naive, and that they're toys entering a new world.
Yeah.
So, Barton, are you gonna go see it open day? Or are you gonna wait a minute?
I'm gonna wait a bit. I think my for sure thing I want to see first is Oppenheimer. That's it. But
for sure,
I'll probably see it eventually. I don't know when, but I'll definitely check it out once it.
Totally.
Maybe streaming. I don't know.
I'll call it right now. It's gonna be $1 billion hit.
Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be. Like, I think when the internet receives something well from a trailer, I think that just generally makes all studios be like, okay, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause, like, especially something like Barbie.
This
I
isn't
feel
the
like
Sonic
Barbie
trailer.
was going to be a very hit or miss.
Yeah.
Right? It was either going to make people be like, this looks like shit, or like, wow, I'm intrigued. And for the most part, everyone was like, I'm very intrigued by this, right? Like,
it's just sad that it is up against Oppenheimer, because Oppenheimer could be a $700 million, $800 million movie, probably break even, make $100 million, right? Totally could be.
But I think,
I don't think it's like you have to double feature this.
Yeah, like they complement each other so well. Like that's why I feel like starting with Oppenheimer makes sense, because it's going to be so heavy.
Well, and it's
from start to finish, that's going to be a heavy movie.
It's so,
you know what I mean?
It's so odd that like Cruise has been like, I've got my Barbie and my Oppenheimer tickets.
Yeah.
But he's the weekend before.
Yeah.
Like have we ever seen like 3 actors from 3 different competing studios all having movies the same week in apart from each other? That's Universal, Paramount, and Warner Brothers all at the same time,
like
within 7 days.
Yeah.
And the second weekend needs to be half the first weekend to pop.
You know, it's also nuts too, is that neither of them are like, Disney's not a part of it. That's also wild too.
It is.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Pixar already had their flop with Elemental, right?
Well, and technically Indy's Disney too,
Indy
right?
Is, it is. I saw it last night. It's a huge Disney 100 logo.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Oppenheimer. I think if I go see it, I'll see Oppenheimer in the same theater with you. Are you at Landmark or you're?
No, we're going to Polo.
You're going to
IMAX.
Polo. Okay.
Polo IMAX.
That's right, because there is no IMAX outside of.
We looked at Landmark, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it was all like, they're just doing pre-sale for one theater.
That's right. You were saying before show,
and they're all like sold out. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Before we get out of here, we just want to say as a show that the writer's strike and the SAG strike, Reel Debaters supports the shit out of that.
For sure.
So if you're American and you listen to this, know up here in Canada that I donated some bucks last night to one of the funds to keep writers and underpaid, not Matt Damon, not Angelina Jolie actors in the money. So I'll throw that in the bottom of this too. But it just happened within the last 48 hours, and it's insane.
It's nutty.
It's insane.
It's getting really nutty.
Like, I'm sure Vancouver's going to shuttle really fast. Calgary's already been hit hard.
Yeah.
I know one production has been pushed here, and it was huge. It had a huge horror name behind it.
Yeah.
It had a huge cast. It had a singer and a very well-known actor, which I'll tell you about after because I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you about it now. But that got pushed because of it. So
that's what I mean. Like I was telling you, like there's no way with the writers and actors doing this that Hollywood can really, really even talk about October. There's no way. There's no way.
The amount of time that it's going to take to find everybody. You know what it's like? It's like that scene in Armageddon when when everybody scrambles off the ring. That's what it's going to be like to find everybody because what's going to happen is if they didn't like being on Deadpool and they get hired for something else, then they might not come back if they're a low enough key position.
Yeah.
So you're going to have maybe...
And that happened last time with the strike. When they started coming back, they were getting better jobs for other things, and then there was a huge switch up with stuff. Right?
Have you seen anything in Vancouver, Martin, about it so far? Like, is anybody striking out there in support of?
Nothing. I haven't seen anything so far, but I mean, it's still early though. I'm sure there'll be something here. To do that,
there's no way
it's
that
such a big market. Film is such a big market here in Vancouver. So much stuff is filmed here, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, there's no way it won't ripple effect at some point, right? Like, for sure.
It's crazy, man.
It's nuts, man. But I mean, it's necessary.
So, like, listener, just some key points that have come out so that you're aware why they're striking. If you were a person and you couldn't work a lot to feed yourself and were never paid a residual for something that you created, that's what the writers are striking for. They've been limited on how much they can write on shows and when they can work off those shows on other shows, so there's less time to work with less seasons to write for, which has less money and no residuals. 50-cent residual checks.
And also,
Sean Gunn someone got a 50-cent residual check for something on Netflix.
That's so dumb.
And like legally they have to pay them.
But like, also, it's just streaming has changed everything so much, and they have to address it. They can't ignore it. They can't change these they can't keep these same stupid rules. Like, streaming has changed everything.
Just because streaming's business model is what it is doesn't mean you can't pay somebody something every time it hits a marker.
For sure.
If you're going to stream and you say it hits 100 million, 200 million, 500 million, a billion views, there should be a tier system for that.
Yeah.
How you do your business, if you want to play in the game of making film, you should be able to pay the people that are making it instead of saying, oh, we don't have enough money because they're so heavy on the production side that they pay everybody up front and then they want all the subscriptions to come in and not have to pay any of that subscription dollar.
No, for sure.
It's fucking evil.
Yeah, it's insane.
But the other thing is that imagine if you were an actor and you were a background actor where everybody starts, and then all of a sudden you get seen and someone wants to cast you. Well, what the studios want to do is they want to AI the shit out of you and then keep your likeness in perpetuity, never pay you again for anything they use you for. And when you get big enough, they won't need you because they got you, and it was $200 for one day of work they wanted to pay. They called it a groundbreaking AI proposal.
And that's what I mean. Like, I started here as a background actor, and then I went to Toronto, and I started doing auditions, and I got commercials and stuff. But technically, with the way they want to do it, is that I would have never been able to do that because even if they did see potential, they would have had my likeness.
Yeah,
I could have gone to auditions in Toronto. They'd be like, "Oh, we got it already."
Exactly.
And I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're picking palettes now instead of characters and people.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's why studios and suits don't fucking get this shit.
Yeah.
So anybody in Vancouver who's going to suffer, in Calgary and Winnipeg, this is a pro strike show. So if we could walk and do more than just donate money, we would. But there's no place here that would. They'd be like, those guys are just.
We'll
fans.
burn something.
Yeah, we'll burn something on your behalf. You know,
we'll figure it out. We'll find
all the proceeds from our Ken dolls will go to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
So Charles has got a family reunion. I'm getting hungry. I'm sure Martin needs to either take a nap.
I'm getting hungry.
There it is.
Yeah.
Are you?
My Ken's hungry.
Yeah, Mike gets low blood sugar now that he's 40. So thank you, listener, for tuning in. If this is your first time and you want more of us, just subscribe to the show. It's free. It's easy. Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast player you're listening to this on. Whoever's playing this for you, if you like it, that's the easiest way to support the show. Subscribe and give us a great review if you like what you heard. Party on, Wayne?
Yeah. Party on, Garth. I'm Portuguese Ken.
I have been limited edition release Martin Navarro featuring Michael Eyeliner Petro at the Toad in the Hole.
I'm full edition, brand new limited release Ken doll Michael. Watch all the movies, kids. Say bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies.